But invasive species aren't just in Catalonia. In Greece, in the Gulf of Elefsina, west of Athens, local fisherman Yorgos is taking the plunge in search of another non-indigenous species. He's come to gather large bivalve molluscs covering the shallows. Originally from the Indo-Pacific region, they spread to this part of the Mediterranean through the Suez Canal, one of the primary pathways for non-indigenous species into the Mediterranean. A quick dive yields an abundant catch.
This is the so-called pearl oyster, Pinctada, imbricata, radiata. In addition to food, we sometimes find pearls. It can be consumed raw, baked, steamed, or fried in pasta or risotto.
The fishermen sell the pearl oysters to local fishmongers who then sell them for €5 per kilo, but the trade is constrained by a lack of regulation. Unlike mussels and other popular local molluscs, pearl oysters are considered an exotic species, and Greek legislation doesn't cover their exploitation for human consumption. John is working to change this. His research calls for the legalization of pearl oyster fishing in Greece so that they can be fished sustainably and sold for higher added value.
It's very important because it offers an alternative for the fishermen to improve their income as the pressure on the natural stocks of other shellfish increases due to overfishing and climate change.
Researchers at the University of Patras have concluded that pearl oysters don't harm endemic species and can be fished sustainably. They've drawn up new rules and standards for the whole value chain, from fishing specifications to best storage and transportation practices. Recipes with pearl oysters are already being studied at cooking schools like this one, soon to be served all along the Greek coastline.
People like this meal immensely. I would even call pearl oysters a superfood. They are rich in proteins with minimal carbohydrates and fat, and they have a lot of flavour and a delicious taste.
Legalisation could be good for aquaculture too. In Sagiada, near the Albanian border in western Greece, Spiros and his father grow shellfish on submerged ropes. The only invasive species that gives them trouble is the translucent ascidians that need to be constantly removed. But the farmers don't mind the pearl oysters occasionally found among their main harvest. They say this could be another product to sell if the regulatory framework accounted for this non-indigenous species.
We can't grow them legally, nor sell them. And so we just basically gather them for our own consumption whenever we have parties or whenever special people come.
The aquaculture sector is expanding rapidly in this part of Greece. Mussels and oysters help keep water clean from excessive nutrients. They're also a great healthy food source, so the cultivation of pearl oysters could be a harmonious fit.
It grows fast, it tastes good, the markets are present, so I think it's a matter of time to commercialize this new resource. We cannot eradicate the species, we have to co-evolve with them as a society and as a production sector.
The invasion of hundreds of non-indigenous species into the Mediterranean Sea over the past few decades is a major challenge, but it's also an opportunity for the fishing sector to adjust and make the most of it.